Hey guys, Corey here. Just want to do a quick review on my Mathews V3 after owning it for 30 days and shooting about 150 shots through it. And to answer a question I get is it worth the upgrade of switching from my current Mathews bow? So a lot of people will be shooting a Mathews VXR and a lot of people will be shooting the 2018 Mathews Verdicts. Myself, I had a Mathews Verdicts. I upgrade my bows every 2 years. And this will be obviously 2018 on the Verdicts, 2020 on the V3. So that's the only reason I didn't get the VXR. Mathews puts out great products, obviously, huge fan. So I like to run the bow a little longer than a year. I feel like I don't want to turn it in or just give it up after a year. I feel like I still, the bow has a lot to offer. But then after every 2 years, I feel like you're kind of getting enough, bang for your buck, where you're getting some upgrades, 2 years worth of innovation that might be worth switching. So that's why I switched, right off the bat, pre-ordered as soon as I could. It came in, got some shots through it. So what I'm noticing versus the Verdicts. So the Verdicts already had the nice engaged grip, and this does as well, again, this year. So if you were shooting a Halon or Triax though, right off the bat, the grip itself, it just feels a whole lot better in your hand than my Halon did, for instance. It feels a lot like the Verdicts though, holding it. Weight is about the same. It looks lighter with this with the cutout riser, but if you check the specs, they're almost identical in weight. So weight's not a big factor there. What Mathews has been talking about for the VXR and the V3 will be the riser getting lengthened versus the axle-axle ratio, axle-axle length staying the same. So the riser is longer now, the axle-axle is staying short. These limbs, as you can see, are all kind of preloaded past parallel, which is a big difference maybe even with the VXR, definitely with the Verdicts. So according to Mathews, you're going to be a little more stable, in this, I guess they would call it the platform, shooting out longer distances. So anything probably, I would say 50, 60, 70 yards. So I got to shoot this one over the weekend at 60, 65 yards, just to kind of compare where my Verdicts was, see how my grouping was. What I kind of noticed, it does feel better in your hand. It feels like you can hold it better, hold a pin on the target, maybe a little better at 60, 65 yards. Now I'm not a target archer, I just bow hunt primarily. So, everything I say, don't, take my word for it. This is just my opinion, but I feel like it really did, the bow did hold better at 60, in those longer ranges like that. So to me, it kind of excited me because I do a lot of maybe elk hunting out west or maybe some mule deer hunting where that's what I was looking for when I switched over. I wanted a bow that maybe would perform like a 34 axle bow did. So this one is a 31, obviously it's an inch longer than the Verdicts, but with the riser being lengthened, the limbs being preloaded a little bit, I was hoping it made a difference. I really did see it making a difference. So that's a big plus right there. Like I said, the grip, almost identical, feels great still. The weight feels the same. They did change the cable guard, as you've probably seen in other videos from YouTube or Mathews' website. Cable guard's over, so you get more vein clearance. That really wasn't a big issue though for me on my Verdicts, so I don't really, it wasn't a make or break deal for me. The cable guard's nice. To be out of the way, and it's directly between the cams, so it's split the difference. And according to Mathews, it gives you maybe a little better tuning, shootability, but not nothing that I would really ever notice. The strings, I switched from zebra, but I switch on every bow I get. If you read enough online forums, it'll almost make you feel like you have to switch from zebra strings. It's usually the only knock on a Mathews bow. So myself, I put custom strings on there, which I did with the Verdicts as well. So I would recommend maybe just doing that off the bat. Saves yourself a lot of tuning and issues. If you're going to do it, then you might as well do it day one. Get the bow set up, get some practice in with it. But as far as is it worth the upgrade from say someone with a Halon, Triax, or Verdicts, I would say yes. I feel like it's a little more stable. That's probably what I would best describe it. It's hard to find the words. A lot of times you just shoot it and you get a feel for it. But I would say the word stable comes to mind. Same speeds, maybe even a little faster. I didn't check it on paper, but it feels a little faster than the Verdicts. Quieter, every year it seems like it gets quieter and quieter. You hear that, but I really do believe it even got quieter again. No hand shock, no vibration at all. Something you would expect from the Mathews bow. So if you have a VXR, You know, I can't speak for it if it's worth upgrading. I hear it's probably worth going to shoot one just side by side to see what you think. But if you have a Vertex or anything later from Mathews or another brand, obviously switch over to Mathews. We know that. But if you have a Halon Triax, it's worth giving this bow probably a go. You're going to be surprised of how well it kind of holds. That's probably my main takeaways. The pins hold really tight at those longer yardages. Super happy with everything else about the bow too. So just to wrap this up, the V3, 30 days in, 150 shots, finish still perfect. You know, something that Mathews always does well. Great finishes on their bows. I still love the grip. I might change to the engaged side plates. There's some options Mathews has on their website. Some people I see removing the grip completely, taping it. So the grip's not a make or break. You have some options regardless what you do with the grip. But just the riser being longer, the limbs being preloaded, that's my main takeaway. Did it make a big difference over my Vertex? I saw my groupings get a little tighter at 60 yards, so that's all I'm asking for. If that can help me put down an elk, mule deer, and that's a make or break, or in that make or break situation. If it helps me, then it's something that is worth the money to me. So definitely go to your local pro shop and try to shoot one.